Welcome the timeless forgotten mystery. It is the world's most secretive organization. Operating on a hidden budget, it launders power through offshore cash and shell companies. From toppling foreign leaders during the Cold War to deploying algorithms and drones in the war on terror, the CIA has become America's ultimate lever of influence. The year is 1945. The Second World War ends in fire and rubble. Europe lies in ruins, while the Pacific burns under the shadow of the atomic bomb. And the global balance of power is about to change. The Soviet Red Army occupies half of Europe. Stalin's grip tightens on capitals from Warsaw to Bucharest. For America, this is dangerous news. The United States knows almost nothing about Soviet plans. At the time, America relies on the Office of Strategic Services, a wartime intelligence branch that dropped agents behind enemy lines and sabotaged Nazi supply chains. But compared to Moscow's vast network, they were amateurs. Even Britain's MI6 withheld secrets from Washington. America's victories came through sheer industrial might, not intelligence supremacy. When Harry Truman takes office in April 1945, he initially shuts down the OSS. But it soon becomes clear that the country needs a far stronger intelligence service. In the corridors of Washington, a new resolve takes shape. Truman prepares to create something America has never seen before, an organization that will wage a silent war across the globe. Money flows, but success proves elusive. The Soviets remain entrenched. Their intelligence network is ruthless and far more advanced. The CIA, still young, suffers repeated humiliations. Missions are compromised before they begin, operations collapse, and recruitment dries up. Internal reports describe the agency as fatally penetrated. By the early 1950s, CIA Director Walter Beadle Smith fears his agency may be dismissed as a failure. Desperate for a decisive victory, the CIA turns to Iran. In 1953, Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh nationalizes Iran's oil industry, stripping Britain of its profits. London turns to Washington. Operation Ajax is born. Led by CIA officer Kermit Roosevelt Jr., armed with over $1 million, the agency sets its plan in motion. Politicians are bribed, newspapers spread lies, and mobs are paid to riot. On August 19th, the coup succeeds. Mossadegh is overthrown, the Shah is restored, and Iran's oil returns to Western control. In Langley, it's hailed as a masterpiece. But the victory plants a seed of instability that will one day haunt America. The 1950s become a blur of coups and covert battles. Guatemala's president falls in 1954, orchestrated by CIA propaganda and mercenaries. Indonesia and Cuba prove tougher, while Eastern Europe operations collapse under KGB counterintelligence. Alan Dulles, the new CIA director, shifts strategy. With Richard Bissell at his side, the agency leans into what America does best, technology. The U-2 spy plane revolutionizes intelligence, flying at 70,000 feet with cameras capturing Soviet secrets from miles above. For the first time, U.S. estimates are based on hard evidence, not guesswork. But as Vietnam erupts, the CIA dives deeper into covert warfare. It maps the Ho Chi Minh Trail, trains militias, and fuels secret wars in Laos and Cambodia. Covert funding streams blur into the drug trade, with opium and heroin quietly financing operations. In April 1961, disaster strikes at the Bay of Pigs. A CIA-trained force of Cuban exiles is crushed within days. For President Kennedy, it is a searing humiliation. He vows never again to blindly trust CIA or military advice. But the mission continues. In Chile, 1973, the CIA helps destabilize President Salvador Allende's socialist government. Strikes, propaganda, and secret funding weaken the economy until General Augusto Pinochet seizes power in a bloody coup. Another democracy falls, replaced by dictatorship. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, the CIA runs the brutal Phoenix program, assassinating Viet Cong operatives. At home, the agency secretly manipulates journalists, student groups, and cultural organizations. Project MKUltra pushes the limits of ethics, experimenting with LSD, hypnosis, and mind control. By the mid-1970s, scandals erode the agency's mystique. The Church and Pike committees expose abuses, while Watergate topples Nixon. Yet the CIA's secret bank accounts and shell companies remain active, quietly fueling operations worldwide. The 1980s bring Iran-Contra. Arms are sold secretly to Iran, profits funneled to Nicaraguan rebels, and drug traffickers allowed to thrive as long as money reaches CIA-backed forces. Then comes the BCCI scandal, a global banking empire laundering billions for criminals, dictators, and intelligence agencies alike. When the Soviet Union collapses in 1991, the CIA's very purpose is shaken. With its great rival gone, budgets shrink, networks dissolve, and officers retire. For a moment, it seems the age of covert war is over. But in the shadows, a new enemy rises. Osama bin Laden builds Al-Qaeda, striking US embassies, warships, and eventually, the World Trade Center. On September 11, 2001, nearly 3,000 Americans are killed in a single morning. The CIA is thrust into a new war against terrorism. Budgets soar. In Iraq, flawed intelligence about weapons of mass destruction leads to invasion, chaos, and insurgency. Out of this war emerges a new weapon, the drone. The Predator and Reaper drones transform intelligence. Able to watch for days and strike in seconds, they bring assassination into the digital age. Operated from half a world away, they deliver America's reach anywhere on Earth. From coups and propaganda to drugs and drones, the CIA's story is one of power in the shadows, shaping history far beyond what the public ever sees.